The World in 2050, a multidisciplinary analysis of mid-century global transformations introduction, projections for a transformed global landscape. The year 2050 does not represent a distant science fiction horizon. Rather, it is a temporal destination within the expected lifespan of the current generation. The structural foundations of this mid-century reality are currently being forged by contemporary policy decisions, capital investments, and technological This analysis synthesizes data-driven projections across demographic, technological, environmental, and geopolitical domains to delineate the contours of a world undergoing profound metamorphoses. By treating the future not as an abstraction, but as a continuation of observable longitudinal trends, we can assess the challenges and opportunities awaiting a global society in 2050. Part 1. Demographic divergence and the 10 billion milestone by 2050. The global population is empirically projected to approach 9.7 to 10 billion individuals. However, the defining characteristic of this growth is its radical geographic unevenness. Sub-Saharan Africa is poised to become the primary engine of global population growth, with nations such as Nigeria, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo emerging as top-tier populous states. Conversely, the global north and east, Asia Pacifica, Japan, South Korea, and much of Europe will confront the silver tsunami, a contraction of the labor force characterized by rapid aging and a shrinking tax base. This demographic bifurcation will necessitate mass migration driven by economic necessity and climate displacement. The global demand for inclusive social integration frameworks. Part 2. The ascendance of the planetary megacity mid-century will mark the culmination of the urban revolution, with approximately 70% of the human population residing in metropolitan centers. The emergence of hypermegacities, urban corridors with populations exceeding 20 million will centralize global economic output and cultural production. These environments will rely on smart infrastructure, utilizing artificial intelligence and ubiquitous sensor networks to manage resource distribution and waste. Yet, without intervention, these cities risk becoming sites of extreme socioeconomic stratification, where high-tech enclaves are physically decoupled from marginalized informal settlements. The viability of these cities will depend on their ability to transition toward circular economy models and resilient urban planning. Part 3. The integration of artificial intelligence and human agency by 2050. Technology will have shifted from being a distinct tool to an omnipresent ambient environment. Artificial intelligence (AI) will provide the underlying operating system for education, legal frameworks, and governance. As robotics and automation reach high-level cognitive saturation, traditional labor models will erode. This transition will demand a paradigm shift in human capital development, moving from rote memorization toward a focus on critical thinking, ethics, and system design. Furthermore, the rise of neural interfaces and advanced biotechnology will blur the boundary between biological and synthetic intelligence, forcing a global reevaluation of the philosophical and legal definitions of human identity. Part 4. Climate adaptation and the energy transition. Climate change in 2050 will no longer be a probabilistic model, but a dominant lived reality. Coastal urban centers will contend with the systemic threats of rising sea levels, while interior regions face high-frequency extreme weather events. Parallel to these challenges, the global energy matrix is projected to achieve a significant decoupling from fossil fuels. A diversified portfolio of solar, wind, green, hydrogen, and advanced modular nuclear reactors will define the energy landscape. In this era, climate adaptation will become a central tenet of national security. States that have prioritized resilient infrastructure and climate-resistant agricultural technology will emerge as the new anchors of global stability. Part 5. The multipolar geopolitical order. The mid-century geopolitical landscape is expected to be decidedly multipolar, ending the era of unipolar hegemony. Influence will be distributed across a complex web of actors, including the United States, China, India, and the European Union, alongside burgeoning regional blocs in Africa and Southeast Asia. Power will no longer be measured solely by kinetic military capacity, technological sovereignty, the control of data, semiconductor, supply chains, and AI standards. International institutions must undergo radical reform to reflect this new distribution of power, or risk obsolescence as regional alliances take precedence over global governance. Part 6. The evolution of socioeconomic models. The economic architecture of 2050 will be defined by the high productivity gains of automation and the subsequent disruption of the traditional link between labor and income. Governments may be forced to implement universal basic income UBI or similar social safety nets to maintain social cohesion in a hyper-connected digital economy. Talent migration will become increasingly virtual, with nations competing to attract digital citizens rather than physical residents. Success in this environment will be predicated on a nation's innovation quotient, its ability to foster an adaptable, lifelong learning workforce. Part 7. Bioconvergence and the ethics of longevity. Revolutionary breakthroughs in genomic therapies and personalized regenerative medicine may significantly extend the human health span by 2050. Chronic and previously fatal diseases will be reclassified as manageable conditions through AI-driven diagnostics. However, these medical advancements present a risk of biological inequality, where life-extending technologies are accessible only to an elite global stratum. Additionally, as physical ailments decrease, mental health will rise to the forefront of global public health as individuals struggle with the cognitive load of rapid technological change and environmental anxiety. Part 8. Cultural hybridity and the crisis of identity. Global culture will exist in a state of connected fragmentation. Digital platforms will facilitate unprecedented cross-border collaboration while simultaneously creating hyper-targeted ideological silos. This tension will exacerbate crises of identity, national, cultural, and digital as societies struggle to balance the preservation of tradition with the velocity of innovation. Education systems must therefore pivot toward fostering emotional intelligence and cultural empathy to navigate a world where human values are constantly tested by synthetic realities. Conclusion: the proactive construction of tomorrow, the world of 2050, is not a predetermined fate, but a result of cumulative agency. The trajectory of this mid-century planet is being mapped by the current generation's approach to sustainability, ethics, and governance. Technology can serve as a catalyst for liberation or a mechanism for totalizing control. Economic growth can act as a vehicle for equity or a tool for further division. The decisions executed today will reverberate through the mid-century landscape and beyond, defining the survival and prosperity of the human collective.